response to my video about the Harry Potter actors. I wrote down a list of things because I have a very bad memory, and so I'm going to go ahead and go through my list of my sort of favorites, my sort of, I sort of like them, sort of not, they better step it up in the next couple of movies, and then the ones I really don't like, which surprisingly isn't as long as I thought it would be, so that's pretty good. My favorite one is Jason Isaacs as Lucius Malfoy. I don't think anybody could have embodied his character more, and he's such a great actor, and so throw him into a role where he can be just this snotty aristocrat guy, and it's perfect. Perfect. I love his performance, and when I saw him, I'm like, that's Lucius Malfoy. I don't think I could picture anybody else when I read the books when, you know, Jason Isaacs is Lucius Malfoy. Another one is Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. Rowling handpicked him, so of course he's perfect for the role. Maggie Smith as McGonagall. Now, at first, I really did not like who they had as McGonagall, and over, you know, her performance, I sort of grew to like her. I'm like, okay, well, she doesn't fit the book description, but hey, she's doing a really good job with it, so I've sort of grown to like her, you know, her Maggie Smith is playing McGonagall. Robert Hardy as Fudge. I love Fudge. I love Umbridge, I love Fudge, so of course I'm going to love Robert Hardy as Fudge. I think in the third movie, in the Leaky Cauldron scene, he was perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Loved it. Pam Ferris as Aunt Marge. I think they picked the right person. Like, I remember before it came out, before they started doing the casting, I was like, oh, who are they going to pick for, you know, Aunt Marge? Who's going to take that role as that, you know, that lady? But yeah, I think they made a great choice on that one, and she did a really great job, even though she wasn't in very much of it. It just perfect. Lee Ingleby as Stan Shunpike. I was very impressed with the casting on that. I think he did a good job. It was great. David Tennant as Barty Crouch. I'm not gonna fangirl or anything like that, so I'm just gonna say that, yeah, I think he nailed the part. Really, you know, he did a really good job with Barty Crouch, because, you know, Barty Crouch Jr. Yeah. And finally, Ivana Lynch as Luna Lovegood. We've only seen 2-3 lines of her as the character, but seriously, when she says,
Nicole Testroms,
I got goosebumps. Like, oh my, like, if I just hear it, I was like, oh my gosh, Luna, oh, it's perfect, it's perfect. So, yeah, I think they did a great job with casting her as Luna Lovegood. The ones that I'm sort of on right now, Helena Bonham Carter. I think, when I think Bellatrix, I think, you know, aristocrat, like, you know, just statuesque, I guess. I'm not really sure how, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but I think she could be more aristocratic, more just that noble face, and just more, but I think after the performance we'll see how she does, and it'll probably change my mind, because she is a great actress. Alan Rickman is Snape. I know it's been said before, but he's 60, so he's over the hill, but yet he's a sex symbol. But yeah, I think he does a pretty okay job as Snape. I like him as Snape, but I wish they would have taken, I think, God, what was his name? I'll think of it later, but the guy who, one of the ones they were considering for Snape, I think he would have made a perfect Snape. Perfect! He's still like Snape in my mind when I read the books. Natalia Tina as Tonks. We've only seen a couple pictures, so that one we'll really see on that, but, you know, Tonks is one of my favorite characters, so don't butcher it, please. Timothy Spall as Wormtail. I think he's great, and he's in so many movies. I don't know, I can barely see, you know, a movie without seeing him in it. He's in so many great movies and everything like that, and so, you know, it's expected of him, and I'm not really, yeah, that's all. Okay, and then, the Dumbledores. I loved Richard Harris as Dumbledore. I think he was perfect, and now it's Michael Gambon. He's like a fake Dumbledore. It's like, hey, I'm a hippie, and I'm Dumbledore. I got a bong. I got a magical bong. Wanna go get high? And then I'll go yell at Harry or something. was worst Dumbledore interpretation ever. Yeah, I know. 3 a.m. interpretations of Dumbledore do not work. Don't attempt them. Okay, so now the ones that piss me off to no freaking end. The first one is Gary Oldman as Sirius. I think he's a bad Sirius. He's not Sirius. That is not my Sirius. Sirius is supposed to be this dashing man, and even, you know, she's admitted that, hey, yeah, Sirius was good looking, and, you know, in this book we get, okay, he's been in prison for 12 years, I know. But really, you can't see the glimmer in his eye of, hey, I used to do all this mischief. I wrote the Marauders map. You don't see that with Gary Oldman, and I think that's my biggest problem, is you can't see that he's still sort of young inside, like how he was in Order of the Phoenix. And seeing through the trailer and everything, it doesn't seem like he's stepping that up at all anyway. I don't know, we've seen the thing where he's saying, oh yeah, it's the same as it was before. You know, I don't think Sirius is like that. I don't know. But I just think that Sirius needs to be represented by somebody better than Gary Oldman, but haha, not gonna happen because he dies. And if you didn't know that, oh my gosh, let's not be friends. Okay, and the trio, yes, I have my problems with the trio. Daniel Radcliffe, of course. Should I even bother saying it? Is it too cliche to make fun of the trio? I think it's yeah, I think it is. But I'll just go ahead and say Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson. Cliche. You're supposed to have poofy hair. Come on. Poof. 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 Anyway, and then Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy. It's already been said, but yeah, you should have slicked your hair back, buddy. Slick it back. But really, if you take any book and then you try and make a movie out of it, sometimes it turns into a disaster. Now, if I could think of a movie that turns into a disaster, that would make this whole argument really, really, really valid. But right now I really can't. But I know people who saw Eragon and who read Eragon were pissed off, to say the least. That happens with quite a few book to movie things. But yeah, I'm hoping that I stop looking at my computer screen, really, because why am I doing that? There's no more information here. I'm already done with what's here. So yeah, right now I'm actually sort of happy with a fair amount of actors. Just hope they step it up, because it's getting, you know, it's getting serious now, guys. Let's hop on the Hogwarts Express and go to town. That was lame. So, 2 more movies left. They had better freaking step up their game. Oh, duh. Emile Staunton as Umbridge. I think she's fantastic. I think the costumers are doing a fantastic job. I hope that she lives up to all my expectations, or I will cry. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video, because I'm sure it's getting pretty long, because I like to talk at 3:30 in the morning. So yeah, but here, I'll go ahead and leave you with something funny that happened when I was recording the actual question. Because, yeah, there you go. I like to point at the screen. I don't know why I do that. I need to, like, not do that. Like, don't do that. This is not even gonna make it onto YouTube. What is this? You crazy.